Hi, it's Ray here again. Another silly story from Vietnam. Some of my stories span over a lot of years, and please keep in mind that some of the things I talk about are not the same now as they were 20 years ago when I first came to Vietnam. However, let's get on with this. This one is The Crazy Kid. After a few years in Vietnam, my wife from Australia and I parted company, and after some time of feeling sorry for myself, I sought female companionship. I met a single mum who seemed to fill the shoes, and she had a young boy who could only be called a brat. I accepted that because he had no dad to guide him, but some of his antics were hilarious and somewhat challenging. One evening, we decided to take a walk around Hoan Kiem Lake, which is in the centre of Hanoi, where I had been transferred in my job. Hoan Kiem Lake is in the centre of the city and is visited by heaps of people who presumably pee, spit and more into it. The night was as calm as could be, and there's not even a ripple on the lake. The lake was overfull, and indeed had overflowed onto part of the footpath that surrounds it. Walking along, quietly admiring the view, the kid indicates he is going to walk out to the temple in the middle of the lake. The surface looks like glass. Because you can say, "Don't, it's water, it's not tiles," he's up to his neck in water, as he tried to walk on it. I laugh, which doesn't go down well. Lots of other people make comments about how stupid he must be. Remember, by this time I was understanding Vietnamese reasonably well. Most of these comments were made mostly by the people he ran into as he ran around like a lunatic prior to his walk on the water episode. But Pumpkin Bum, my lovely lady, as I called her Pumpkin Bum, being the mum, finds little humour in the event and tells off those people who are laughing at the child. The kid screaming as he got quite a fright, dripping with dirty water, and she says she's bringing him to my house quick smart to take a shower and get all the mud and gollies, etc. off him that he probably collected out of the lake. No way, say I. And a fireman, who is standing with some of his other fireman friends by a fire engine, comes up with a bucket of fresh water which he got off the fire engine. My lovely lady yells that he is not to touch the child. The fireman showers him with the contents of the bucket, which is clean water, and she says she'll sue him. He shows her his card with a station ID and says, "Here's where to find me when you want to do that." Anyway, we eventually get back home, and at our front door I refuse to let this child in until he gets all his gear off. He does so reluctantly and straight to the shower. It's cold because he doesn't bother to listen about turning on the hot water. Anyway, by the morning he's got a bad cold. My beautiful Sunday is spent listening to how this fireman and all those people who laughed are going to be sued. I suggest she better add me to that list because I thought it was funny. And I was in complete agreement with the fireman, who was probably concerned with getting the worst of the bacteria growing sludge off him. Bit of a huff, but she starts laughing, and I tell her that his kid is a moving disaster area, and he needs to get a bit of strong-handed discipline. Even Viets thinks he's a brat. So that's pretty bad. Anyway, she and Stove Man, as we started calling him from his habit of wanting to jump off the wardrobe onto the burning stove, have now gone home to cry on Granny's shoulder tonight, but she says she will be here in the morning to get my breakfast. So she can't be in total disagreement with me. Don't get me wrong, I like the kid, but he's a brat. I've scheduled his next full weekend visit for the year 2075.